Bling, 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 bling. Credit cards. Putting people into debt so they can make beautiful TikToks. It's a kind of a poetic thing what these credit cards have done to people's lives. They allow a lot of people an emergency line of credit for when they're down and out. They also seem to be the most addicting thing to people who have shopping addictions. But more importantly, credit cards are an avenue into a mindset of living beyond our means. They allow people to extend themselves way beyond what they should be able to afford in their lives, and they give them a glimpse of a higher style of living, a higher income. But those consequences yield us the most beautiful fruit ever created on this earth, and that is financial meltdown TikToks. I know why you guys are here. Let's get it started.
$15,000 worth of high interest debt because I couldn't stop impulse spending. So when I was in university, I obviously didn't have a lot of money like most students don't. I had student loans and I decided to take out a $10,000 line of credit to help me with some of my expenses during the school year. And I thought, oh, no big deal. I'll just use like $1,000 of this line of credit and I'll pay it back when the semester's over and I can work more. But it only took me 2 months to max out that $10,000 line of credit because I just couldn't stop impulse spending.
An additional $5,000 a month. So that's like $70,000. I mean, after taxes, that's probably like an additional $80,000 a year. Her lifestyle inflation blew up too, right? And the only reason why she stopped, because she maxed out on her line of credit.
So what the heck did I even buy? Like, how did I max out $10,000 in like 2 months? I was buying plane tickets. I was buying new clothes. I was buying home decor items from HomeSense. I was going out for dinner and drinks with my friends. The list goes on. I truly didn't even know what I was buying most of the time. Eventually, I also maxed out.
She knew what she was buying. What kind of excuse was that? Like, I don't know what I'm buying. I'm buying plane tickets. Like, she literally named everything you could buy. Plane tickets, furniture, clothes. She's in school. Like, she's supposed to be studying. I literally, when I was in dental school, my floor mattress, I know you guys know, my wonderful floor mattress down here. It's full of boxes now. But I mean, the entire time in dental school, people made fun of me because I didn't have a bed frame, because I didn't want to buy one. Because I was like, dude, that's like $100-something that I don't have. And I lived off my loans. I did. I lived off the loans of FAFSA, which isn't a lot to live off of, but you can do it if you make ends meet. But at least my student loans only had, I think it was an 8% interest rate. Well, these credit cards, these are like 25 to 30%. So like she's going to end up paying, $3,000 a year as long as that balance is there. Ooh.
Out my credit card, resulting in $15,000 of high interest debt. Yay. Oh, did I forget to mention that I had undiagnosed ADHD at this point? That's a crucial part of the story. I was so embarrassed by this. And
the ADHD didn't get you in debt. You taking out that credit card and spending all the money is what did it. Like, what?
I felt like I had to hide this struggle from everyone. None of my friends seemed to be struggling the way I was struggling, so all I could think was, what is wrong with me? So what was the issue? How did I end up in so much debt in such a short period of time? It wasn't the fact that I was spending money or that I didn't make enough money. It was that I was spending outside of my means and I was spending out of control. Spending money isn't a bad thing. In fact, spending money on yourself is very important and I encourage it. But it's the uncontrollable spending, the spending more money than we have, the spending as a coping mechanism that can cause a problem for us.
It's controllable. Like, it's very easily controllable. She explained the entire situation, right? So she gets a credit card and immediately maxes it out. Don't get a credit card. Like, once you realize that, don't get a credit card. Just get a debit card. And sure, she'll never have savings. She's going to max it out because she's an impulse spender. But at least she won't go into debt, which is going to be way more detrimental over the course of her life and put her into a hole. I mean, she's already in student loan debt, right? She's in school. She already said, like, she needed extra money. But it seems like she didn't because she just spent it on a bunch of junk. So I just don't get where she comes from, where she was like, yeah, I needed extra necessities for school, extra stuff just for school, $1,000. I'm taking plane trips, clothes, new furniture. It's like, bro, it's always lifestyle creep. It's always lifestyle creep. Everybody thinks of what they want their life to be and they just spend money to get there, whether they have it or not. Whether they have it or not. That's literally all of these people, is they believe their lifestyle should be somewhere that is separate from their income. And unfortunately, you don't get to have that. And if you want that, you're going to pay the interest on it. And it's going to suck. It's going to hurt. That's the deal. You made the deal with the devil. You got to pay the devil his due. You got to pay him his due.
And my spending was out of control. So what's the solution? It's not
Don't get a credit card. Just have a debit card. Like, that's the solution.
About having more willpower or just being more motivated or just doing better. I realize now that my impulse spending was because of my undiagnosed ADHD, and that the symptoms of impulsivity and lack of dopamine would drive me to cope with impulse spending, because whenever I bought something, I got a hit of dopamine and I would feel a little bit better. And so the next time I felt that bad feeling, I knew that spending would just fix the problem, except for we know now, not really. I had to learn more about
we know now because we hit the credit limit.
Why I was impulse spending and what specifically was triggering it. Once I learned that, then I was able to set up tools and systems that would help me curb impulse spending for good, or at least make it happen a lot less. Now, I still have my occasional moments of struggling with impulse spending, but I've gotten so much better at controlling it because I recognize what's triggering it, and I have way more strategies and tools in my back pocket to cope with lack of dopamine and impulsivity in different ways that doesn't involve opening up my wallet. Make sure you're following me for more tips on impulse spending and managing your money with ADHD.
I mean, I am not a psychiatrist. I don't want to venture off into that too much, but I feel like, once again, I mean, the credit card was the issue there, right? You're just not a credit card person. I mean, she immediately, if I have access to money, I'm spending it all. That's what she admitted. So, I mean, just get a debit card, just put it into a certain account. Then once that account runs out of money, you're done spending, you know? Like, these people do really well if they have money taken out of their, like, paycheck every month, essentially, that goes into a savings account that they somehow can't see. Like, she just needs someone else to manage her money, like an accountant who gives her a debit card and goes, you can only spend on this. And I feel like she would be fine. And maybe that's the tool she's talking about. Because, like I said, her relationship to money is just so broken. But, you know what? Everybody is broken in their own way. And she found, hopefully, at least what she admits, is her way of dealing with how she is broken. Which, once again, I hope is her never touching a credit card ever. But whatever it takes to, you know, fix the problems you have with your life. Maybe you have a drinking problem. Stay away from alcohol. The important thing is she realized she had a problem and she addressed it, hopefully. So that's good. But, I mean, to blame the ADHD when really it was just a credit card that lets you get into all that debt was definitely the issue. Like, holy smokes. But speaking of credit cards and how wonderful they are, how much do you think people are spending on interest on these credit cards?
I'm going to be honest, I don't love this video I'm about to make, but we're going to do my 2023 credit card interest reveal. How much did I pay in credit card interest in 2023? And let me tell you, it's horrid. It's really horrible. I feel like I have actually not really talked about how much I get charged in interest very much because it scares me and I don't like to think about it. At this point of my credit card debt payoff journey, I am not like opening any more cards or like doing any other like additional things because I am going to be able to pay off the debt so quickly. But had I started over, I absolutely would have done a personal loan or been better with my balance transfer. The issue is I did a balance transfer from my big Chase card that has my highest percent of interest, which I'll check and see what the actual percentage is. I'm not really sure. I did a balance transfer last
Story all this time. She did a balance transfer and then she just remaxed out the credit card. It's every time.
year, but I still was not in the place to be paying off my cards. So all the balance transfer did for me was move $8,000 of credit card debt onto a zero interest card, give me more credit line on my Chase card, and run that card up again. So we just ran it back up. Anyways, okay, for the credit card interest reveal, on my Chase card, I got charged $5,098.46 in credit card interest.
5,100?
That is 1 month of my salary. I got charged my salary and, and interest. And then my other
1 month of after tax, dude. After tax salary.
card, my Wells Fargo one that is at 0 now, I got charged $569.85. So in total,
So 56. Dude, so that's 1,660.
I got charged over $5,500 in credit card.
Oh, wait, no. It's like 5,600. She's not even doing the math on this right. Dude, she's underplaying, but no, that's 5,600, dude.
The APR on that credit card, which is the interest rate, was 25.24% on the Chase card. I feel like for the most part, I would get charged like $300 to $400.
She pays more on her credit card interest than I pay for my car insurance, my power, and my disability insurance, which is very expensive, by the way. She pays for all just in credit card interest, just so she could live beyond her means for a little bit. Because remember, when you go into debt to live beyond your means, it's only temporary. And she's now paying that in interest. Interest. What the hell? What the hell, dude?
In interest, but honestly, like when my cards were really, really high, I didn't even notice that. Like I didn't even notice it. It wasn't until I started actually paying off my credit card debt that I started paying attention to how much interest I was actually being charged. So something to think about. Anyways, it's going down rapidly, which is amazing. Thank God. Free me.
You know what though? She's paying it off too. You know, as much as I love to see the absolute financial devastation, both of these people are paying it off. They have plans to pay it off. They've recognized the problem and are moving forward. That's all you can ask from people. People make mistakes, but as long as you correct your mistakes and move forward, that's what makes you like a well-developed human being who deserves respect. Like good on these people. They made their mistakes. That interest is insane. But like, hey, we're fixing it, you know? We're on the up and up, boys. TikToks are getting better.
We made an $893 minimum payment to our Chase credit card this month, and $600 of that went straight to interest. That only lowered our balance by $200.
Yo, a $30,000. It's $29,000. That's essentially $30,000 in credit card debt on one card. $602 in interest. Holy. Hey, look, they only made $91 in purchases, and look at their payment, so they're slowly paying this down. I like that. They also have, man, look at their cash access line. Available cash. And they're not using it. Let's go, dude. They're paying it down, but good Lord, imagine paying $600 a month in interest. In interest on a credit card. Once again, that is... I'm looking at like how much I pay. I have like a little sticky note over my computer of what I pay in everything every month. And it's like... I don't know. It's just shocking that like you can get into that much debt in credit cards. Oh, they should have a high income though, so they should hopefully be paying this down. Hopefully. They're going to end up paying it down too.
$290, and honestly that number made me sick. So we sat down and started looking at everything. We decided to get a personal loan, not to add more debt, but because the interest rate was way lower than our credit cards. We used it to pay off 4 credit cards and 1 student loan. It made more sense than drowning in high interest payments. Eric just got a $2 raise. With 5 days of overtime, he'll bring home about $4,250 this month. That feels like a win, but after bills and...
Oh my gosh, dude. That is such a low income. And she's talking about his income, not hers. So I'm assuming she doesn't make any income? Oh my goodness.
debt minimums, we've only got $582 left. That's for groceries, gas, diapers, everything. We've sold 11 things on Facebook Marketplace and made $185. There are still 43 more items listed. I'm hoping they go soon. Someone even sent me $10 on Venmo, just to help. That meant more than they know. We're not thriving, but we're trying. Some days this feels like the only thing I can get right. But I keep showing up for her, because she deserves that, no matter what's going on around us. And when I see Eric with our daughter, tired, patient, loving, I remember exactly why we keep going. If you made it this far...
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that video makes me sad. They're making like what, $4,000 a month, and they're $30,000 in credit card debt. That's gonna take them forever, dude. Sorry guys, that one's too bad. I don't want to comment on that one.
I have a little bit over $48,000 in credit card debt that I'm working on paying down, and I mentioned in a previous video that I pay a total of $1,668 a month in minimum payments to my credit cards, and this person wants to know how much I'm paying in interest per month. So let's take a look. I'm not going to do these in any particular order, and then I'll total everything at the end for you guys, but
That means we're gonna skip to the end. We're gonna go right to the end.
so total for 1 month that I paid in interest to all of my credit cards is $974.73. So again,
Yo, that's like my rent. Dude, they're paying my rent and interest. Like, dude, I mean, I get it, because, like, I'm so used to doing, like, student loan ones, but, like, these balances are, like, $30,000, and they're still paying, like, $1,000 a month in interest. Because these interest rates are just so high on these credit cards. Like, these things are... Guys, credit card debt might as well be hot lava. Credit card debt might be your ex-girlfriend who texts you at midnight. You just got to stay away from it. You don't touch it. You like hot lava. You know what I'm saying? You see it, you just get rid of it. You get rid of it. You hit block. Like, you cannot be in credit card debt. You cannot respond to that girl at midnight. Nothing good comes of it. Nothing. Trust me on that.
again, my total minimum payments are $1,668.
Minimum. Oh.
That is why you have to
Oh my god. I almost shit him. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
pay more than the minimum payments if you ever want to pay your credit cards down.
Yo, those minimum payments, by the
I
way,
have a little
those minimum payments, usually those are like 20-year payments. Imagine having to pay $1,600 every month just because you want to live beyond your means for a little bit of time. Like, it's okay. It's okay. Remember, it's not us. We're watching this. We're learning. We listen. And we judge a little bit. Just a little bit. We judge just a little bit. Just a little teeny bit. Not judging a lot. Just a little bit.
I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm in debt.
Facts.
I fucked up.
Facts.
I, about a year and a half ago, took out a consolidation loan to pay
Is she going to rack up more debt? Is she? Taylor's oldest son?
off some high balance cards that had like 30% interest rates. At the time, it was like $28,000 that I owed, and I felt like I was drowning and didn't feel like I had a way out. So I did the consolidation loan. And for a while, it was really good. And I felt like, wow, the monthly payments less, like, than like the minimum payments of all the cards that I had. But over time, I had to use credit cards for business purchases. I own an aesthetics company. I'm just a solo esthetician. I own an aesthetics business.
She's a solo esthetician who owns an aesthetics company. AKA, she does like lashes or makeup on the side. It's not a real company. I mean, it is a business technically, but like, she essentially just works for herself.
But I'm a solo esthetician, and I only work Tuesday, Thursdays, and some Saturdays. And
Tuesday, Thursdays, and some Saturdays. Imagine if you're like, yeah, I run this business. Oh, how often do you work at the business? Oh, it's just me, and I work 2 days a week, some Saturdays, and if I'm not working, the business doesn't operate. That's a hobby. I'm sorry, that's a hobby. And if you're going into debt, obviously this business is not working. She said she took out more, she had to spend more on credit cards for her business, but it's like, your business should be generating revenue, shouldn't be costing you revenue. So why would you have to do it? Like, it should be paying for itself. Like, this doesn't make much sense. She needs to get a real job, but maybe she does have a job. Maybe she does.
over the last year, I'd say I've noticed people are not only stretching their appointments out longer, which I totally understand. It's hard times out there. I'd rather see you than not see you. But with that stretching their appointments, I'm less busy, and then I have had some people like retire and stop seeing me altogether. So I've had to use credit cards for a lot of my product purchases, which are not cheap. They're
Your business should fund your product purchases. Here's a fun fact. Dental offices, dental supplies should take less than 5% of your dental office. Ideally, 3.5%.
they're always usually a minimum of $400 to $1,000. And that's me like getting only what I need, only what I know my clients purchase, and all of that. So I decided to take a look at my finances, and I'm back to that like extremely trapped, drowning feeling, and like I cannot shake it. It's like been consuming me, and it's all I think about lately. There isn't much that I can change about my current situation. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I'm the primary caretaker. I can't work more.
What? But she just said the reason why she's going, part of the reason why she's not doing as well is people are stretching out their appointments more, so there's less work, so she's working less. But she can't work more, so how would she take on more clients? So like, well, you would need to take on more clients is what she was saying earlier to like essentially make up for her lost income because she's losing clients. But now she's like, oh, well, I actually can't work more. Well, if you can't work more, then like why do you just need to cancel this bit? Like she just needs to get a regular job that pays more, and then unfortunately she might have to put her kids into daycare. It sounds like I hear a man in the background, so maybe there's a breadwinner, but obviously he's not making enough to pay for whatever debt we're in. This situation is very confusing, especially with 3 kids, but like we gotta find a better way to make money. Like she can't, that or they gotta downsize their house and all their expenses. But with 3 kids, that's really hard. 3 kids, that's rough.
I could definitely get some new clients.
But you said you can't work more, so when are you gonna fit these new clients in? You know what? Some of this I know is just coping. People lie all the time about finances, and they're like, well, I can't work anymore, I can't do this, I can't do that. When really they can, they just don't want to. But
And hopefully fill my books up a little bit more, and that would help. But basically I need to stop using credit cards.
But she needs to use the credit cards for her business to keep it running. So is she gonna stop with her business? See what I'm saying? Like a lot of these people, when they're talking, you're like, none of what you're saying is adding up, which means there's frivolous spending that she doesn't want to bring up. It's that simple.
I'm just done. I don't know what to do, but I'm done. I looked at one of my credit cards, and it said it would take me 47 years to pay it off if I only paid the minimum payment. That's the one I'm going to be trying to pay off first, because it's got the highest balance and only $20 goes towards the principal. So I guess I'm just making this video because I'd like to hold myself accountable. Whether you care to see or not, you don't have to watch this. You can scroll past them.
All right, I'm gonna figure out how much, because 40 years, 40 times 12, that balance is essentially 10 grand. So she took a consolidation loan and got back into 10 grand worth of debt on one credit card. And her consolidation loan was like, what, 28,000? So she's probably $30,000, $40,000 in credit card debt with 3 kids. It's not going to be any college fund for them, unfortunately. And we all know, unfortunately, how much college is. We're getting bad.
Remember how my bank information got stolen and there was over $500 worth of purchases from Amazon that I did not make? Well, let's talk about my debt journey. Last year, I paid off $10,000 worth of credit card debt. Janie, why did you have so much credit card debt? Because I'm a shopaholic, and my 20s was spent spending money recklessly.
I love her. Just the straight honesty. Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's how you get out of this situation. Just admit what you're doing.
And I had grown up watching my parents also go through using credit cards a little bit too much. Didn't learn my lesson. I had to learn it the hard way. So I consolidated my debt, paid it off. My credit score was so high, so beautiful, so gorgeous, except in 2025, January, February, I went into a deep depression. I was not doing well, and I had gotten accepted for a credit card, and I maxed that out.
She just got accepted for a credit card. Just got accepted. It just fell out of the sky
Within like 3 or 4 weeks. And what did I max it out on? Nothing good. Like really silly purchases here and there. At least if I had bought like a new camera or something, then I feel like I could
imagine maxing out a credit card in a month, guys.
Justify that debt. It's not $10,000 worth of credit card debt. It's roughly around $2,000, and I already have another credit card that I use like more reasonably. Not really. It's also maxed out right now at $500. I am paying that off. That's the journey we're going to jump into, which is a much more reasonable and manageable journey for me. But I do obviously want to get rid of everything that I need to get rid of. I want to be that type of person that uses a card and then pays off the balance immediately. Like, I think that's a beautiful way to be. And that's never been me, but I want it to be me. So that's what this journey is going to be about. We'll do a full breakdown soon. I really like watching these kinds of videos, like debt paying off videos, because I think it just makes you not feel alone. Like, debt is so common, especially in this economy, in this job market. The cost of living is so high.
I mean, job market's bad, the cost of living is so high, so let's pay 25% more for everything a year. Let's do that. Let's put everything on a credit card. Like, I feel like if you get into credit card debt from recklessly spending, the first thing you should do is just never use a credit card. Like, you just can't use a credit card. It's like an alcoholic, right? If you have problem drinking, you just can't drink anymore. That 1-2 beers, you know, at a party, you just can't have that anymore. It sucks. It's fun. It's awesome. Everybody likes having a couple beers, watching the UFC. My personal favorite. But if I was an alcoholic running around getting drunk, getting DUIs, like, I can't drink 2 beers at the UFC because obviously I can't control myself. I mean, man, she paid off the $10K. It was doing good. No. And then we're back. All right, guys. These videos, they never end, baby. We gonna keep on going.
So I don't know how this happened again, but I'm $12,000 in debt. And my delusional goal would be to pay it all off by the end of this year. However, my more realistic goal would be to pay half of it off by the end of this year. So currently I have 3 credit cards. I have a Amazon Chase card that's sitting at $1,400, which is the one that we are working on currently. I have my Discover card, which is sitting at $4,430. And then I have my Amex card, which is sitting at $6,218. I have a full-time job. I work anywhere between 3 to 5 shifts a week as a server bartender. However, I am looking to find any type of side hustles or part-time jobs to help pay off this debt faster.
But she has a part-time job. Why does she want another part-time job or a side hustle? I feel like this whole like side hustle culture is kind of toxic in a way because like we spent on these credit cards, so we obviously didn't make an income that sustained our life as we wanted to live it. Like, we need to do more long-term planning. So many people are thinking about like, I have this debt, I need to pay off this debt like immediately, which is, you know, good. You should pay that debt off, but you should also be planning long-term and like, how do I make enough money to live the lifestyle that I want to live? Not with like weird side hustles, not with part-time jobs, with a full-time job that makes good money, ideally with good benefits. Because you guys, I get no benefits. Let me tell you, benefits are nice. Don't sleep on a salary while not counting the benefits. Because if you get health insurance, I have to pay, look at this. It's right above my board. $550 a month in health insurance. And I'm totally healthy. Totally healthy. 34 years old, totally healthy. $550. So if you have a company plan where you pay like, I don't know, $50 a month, that's an extra essentially $5,000 a year. So remember, when you're looking at salaries for jobs, take into account all those benefits because a lot of times they add up to a lot. In her bartender job, she probably gets no benefits, which sucks. It's hard work. Dealing with the public can be a pain.
They just get accepted into the Spark driver program, which is basically like Instacart for Walmart. I've heard really good things about it, where it has like literally paid off people's debt. So I'm really excited to start it next week and see how it goes for me. But I also just want to try like any other side hustles that I can, whether that be like from apps or from selling like clothes and other things on Facebook Marketplace or Poshmark, or just like any other side jobs that
Once again, side jobs, temp things. I can just sell things. It's like We need long-term planning. A lot of these people, it's just all such short-term stuff, which is how they get stuck in these situations, right? They think about, oh, the short-term gain of like putting this on a credit, I'll pay it off later, and they just fail to do any sort of long-term planning. Almost all of these people, it's just failure to long-term plan.
I can pick up, or honestly, even just like a part-time job. I'm literally open to anything, and I just want to use this account as like just a little diary to keep track of my progress. Watching these type of videos, I love watching like people's debt payoff journeys, side hustle journeys, even to like, you know, trying to reach like a certain savings goal, which that's definitely what I would be focusing on once I get this debt paid off, is building up my savings again.
But you had your savings and then it all disappeared because you said you want to build it up again. So what happened to the savings in the first time? And are you going to stop yourself from going into debt again? And are we going to make an income that can sustain the life we want to live? Because obviously it isn't working out so great right now. So probably don't look for side hustles when we can get a full-time career. Maybe if that is going back to college, you know, sometimes we got to do that. As much as we hate that student loan debt, we hate it.
I want to go over like my credit cards a little bit. I already told you guys that I had 3, but I just kind of like want to explain. Obviously my Chase is my Amazon card. That really racked up. It was honestly down a lot lower back in like March. I did not have this much debt at all. I had like maybe $5,000 total, but I moved into a house, and I had money saved up for that. However, I didn't realize how expensive like getting things for a house would be. Also too, since I am a certain,
you don't have to get things for the house. You can just move into a house and have nothing. Literally, my older brother did that. My mom made fun of him because for like 6 months, he had the freaking mattress on the floor. He had no couch, no living room furniture. And he was like, I'm saving up, Mom. I don't want to like go like to rent a center or something and have to make payments on a couch. He's like, no, I'm just waiting. I'll get the money to get a couch. Like, calm down. Like, she went into debt just to get furniture to furnish a house. Like, what? We didn't have to do that. You can just wait until you have the money.
server, a lot of times you do end up owing money at the end of the year because, you know, like that doesn't get taken out of your paycheck because you don't really get a paycheck. So I did have to, I did put money aside from it. So luckily I wasn't out like the full amount, which was like over $3,000. But I did end up having to pay, I did end up having to put like half of it on my credit card because I didn't have the full amount. So that was like $1,400 that I put on my Discover card. And then my Amex card, honestly, I don't really know how that got to be so high. I really don't.
Putting taxes on a credit card, that's actually a first for me. I've never heard of that.
I did just book an Airbnb. Well, there's 2 Airbnbs that I booked. One for this following weekend and then one for next month in August. And that's part of the reason.
We need to do side hustles. We need to do this. I need to pay down my debt and work on my savings. Oh yeah, I am also taking 2 trips. I'm doing Airbnbs. We listen and we judge a little.
Why? Just waiting on like the people that we're going with to give me their split of the total amount. So once I also get that, that'll help my MX card go down a little bit.
100% she's going to spend whatever they gave her on that trip for like drinks or whatever going out.
We're going to do like the debt snowball
100%.
And work on the lowest one first, which is our Chase card, which is sitting at $1,477. So my goal is to have that paid off by the end of August. Interested in watching a debt payoff, savings journey, and honestly just building a net worth for myself, then follow along.
Ooh, I was just watching a video from a lady who was talking about how she can't believe that she signed up for loans and stuff back when she was trying to be a student, and the loans now, you know, after a certain amount of time, the interest goes up and it's just a never-ending hole of struggle. Yeah, I can't believe that that's a thing too. Like, for real, it's fucked up, and it's affecting businesses, it's affecting people.
Interest? If there is no interest, people wouldn't make loans. If there was no loans and you didn't have any money, you would be stuck in poverty. Loans allow people to get out of poverty. Loans also put people in poverty, but most people do use loans responsibly. Most people take out a small business loan to start a business. People take out loans to go to college. It does work for most people. People take out loans to buy houses because instead of waiting 15 years paying rent, right? You can put down a down payment on a house and get a house, which is the #1 asset or net worth appreciator for Americans in the United States. But if there's no interest, people aren't going to do that. And if there is no interest, who's giving out the money to get the money back when? They're going to lose money in inflation. No one would loan out money. And if people were giving out loans with no interest, I would just take out an infinite amount and buy everything, right? The whole system kind of breaks down. You need interest on loans. And like student loans, the government subsidizes that heavily. Like the system is benefiting you. I don't
see what the end goal is. Is everyone just going to be homeless, even though homeless is literally disappearing right now? Like, you're going to be sent somewhere if you can't pay your bills. But then when bills are unfairly...
Where are you going to be sent? They're debtor jails. That's literally against the law. They're not going to send you anywhere. They might send you to collections. They might take your assets away from you, but they're not going to like send you anywhere.
Doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on you, knowing you couldn't even pay that first bill. It's like, this is fucking insane. Tell me why. I literally had a dental bill from 2 years ago. I had to get...
I swear I'm not involved in this.
Some teeth work done, and they gave me a care credit card.
Okay.
And I knew that they weren't going to charge me interest for, I guess, 2 years. 2 years goes by, I'm over here just paying my little minimum payments, not even thinking about the end of the grace period that I had, because it had been 2 years. I forgot, honestly, and I stupidly shouldn't have. I should have been on that shit. But out of nowhere, this past July, I look up.
Out of nowhere, guys. It wasn't in the paperwork. It was out of nowhere. Just no one could have foreseen what happened here.
I just look up. I was about to make a payment on my credit card, the dental card or whatever. So
it's a care credit card.
It's supposed to be like $2,000. It was $6,000, and I got it down to $2,000 in 2 years. Tell me why out of nowhere I see a charge for $2,800 on this credit card, talking about interest charge. I said, what?
I don't know the care credit cards, but I'm pretty sure what she's talking about is some of these cards they gave her 2 years of interest free. Okay. This is why, like, this is like literally they're trying to help you. Care credit does a lot to help out patients, right? She couldn't afford her dental care. They gave her $6,000 up front. We're like, you don't even have to pay interest for 2 years. We're giving you 2 years to pay this off. And then I think what happens is if the grace period ends, the interest that you get acts like you didn't pay it from the very beginning, if that makes sense. That's in the paperwork, though. I'm pretty sure, pretty bold in there. We do not do care credit through the office. You have to do it on your own. So I am not 100% sure, because I don't want to deal with people getting mad about stuff like this. But that's where she's getting this big interest charge from. But think about it, you get 2 years. Also, care credit takes like 15% of it. So like, let's say she took out $6,000 for her dental work. They only give us, they take off 15% off the top. That's where they get it from, because they, by taking care credit, more patients can do their work. So they're like, hey, it's better than nothing. And then we're like, yeah, the patient gets the benefit. I'm essentially paying the interest for them. But if you don't take your 2 years of free interest, oh yeah, care credit's going to take it from both of us. Like, dude. And then you're going to complain about the system. Like, you're literally not even trying to do anything to work in the system. Of course, the system's going to fight you when you fight it. Like, what?
The fuck is that? I disputed
That's a
shit.
contract. No, that is a contract. Sorry, you signed the contract. It's all laid out. You had 2 years.
They said, oh no, you're going to have to talk to a chat bot or someone, because that's a charge, baby. I talked to someone.
Crazy.
I tried the chat bot, which was terrible. Oh no, he just kept saying like, oh no, that charge is real. That's your grace period or something is up. I'm like, I need to talk to a person. Person's gonna need to tell me what the fuck is going on. I finally get a person on the phone, and they telling me, oh yeah, that 2 year grace period, that you had to pay off your entire balance ended in July, and since you didn't pay off your balance, you're gonna be charged $2,800 now on top of whatever you had left, making my bill go back up to $5,000. And mind you, the grace period is over. So now they're just going to be, now you're going to get interest charges every month if you have a balance. And not just interest charges, if you don't pay it on that date, the due date, then you get $40 late payment fee. I'm like, they are really finna like put me back in a hole I just got out of. That is fucked up. Because if the car just stayed how it was, like no problems, make my minimum payment, I would have been fine. Why can't the world act like that? Why are we hitting people with crazy interest charges?
You literally had an opportunity to have no interest charges. All you had to do was make your payments, pay it off in 2 years.
And they're like, oh, well, it was in the contract you signed.
Yep.
Fucking nuts. So I had to get...
Imagine her being like, wait, why am I being charged? They're like, it's right here in the contract. She's like, that's fucking, you're going to hold me accountable to a contract I signed 2 years ago? What the hell?
Get a loan, a small loan, to just pay off that whole thing. They said they were going to erase the interest charge, the $2,800 interest charge, if I paid off my other whole balance, which was like $2,000 and let's say $2,500. If I paid that off by August 1st, they were going to erase the
once again very nice of them.
Charge. So yeah, so I had to get a loan to pay the whole balance off, so I didn't get that interest charge. So I did that, and so now I have to just make payments on this small loan that I have. The interest on that loan is 12%, so it's not as bad as the interest that would have been if I left the other card unpaid. There's just so many numbers and things in my head that I have to keep up with to remember what the fuck this is, because that's how fucking crazy of a rabbit hole loop they're gonna put you through. Mind you,
I like how it was one loan, and she's like, it's just so many numbers. Like, one loan with no interest for 2 years. It's like, how can I keep track? And then I paid that off with another loan, so now I'm back to one loan with one simple interest payment. How can I keep track of all these numbers? Ugh.
When I paid off all of it, not all of it, like that, when I paid off the dental card, I'm like, okay, you got your fucking $2,500, leave me alone. They came back and charged me $103 more again in interest. I'm literally finna like try to find the damn office so I can go throw a brick at it at this point. I'm so fucking mad. I say, why the fuck are you charging me $100 again? And the innocent call center bitch was like, it's just an interest charge on the balance that you had. This is the last time you're gonna be charged anything. You just pay that $100 more and it'll be done. I'm like, I don't know what kind of fucking game this is, but I'm literally like finna shoot someone.
She got waived $2,500 worth of interest. Okay. And she probably had some outstanding balance that the interest rolls over the month. And she probably paid it near the end, so I'm imagining this interest rolled over. And then they're like, yeah, I mean, you still owe it. And she was like, I owe $100 after you guys wrote off $2,500 from the contract that I signed. I'm gonna kill somebody. Dude, I mean, the mindset here is special.
It's that bad out here in the credit game. I'm like, damn, I love credit, but then also I really see why you cannot be playing with credit cards. They will have you in a hole you will never be able to get out of.
She just got out of it.
And so many people are in this boat. I was crying for a few thousand, tens of thousands of dollars, like maybe just 10,000, maybe, around that. Other people are over here in the hole of way more because they went to school, they went to college, and got serious college debt. I have student loan debt, but it's like $10,000 because I only went to beauty school. I'm not about to be going to no college, though, if it's going to get me in debt over a...
She should not take out any debts. I mean, if one debt is too many numbers to keep track of, for sure she should not be getting into any more debt. Like, good lord.
I'm 24 years old and I currently owe $31,876 of credit card debt. I got my first credit card when I was 18, and from the age of 18 to 20, I was doing so good with my credit. I paid on time. I paid off my balance at the end of every month. I made sure to stay below the 30% mark. As soon as I got married at the age of 20, everything went downhill. I started spending a lot of money trying to go out with my husband, trying to buy things for my husband and things that I could not afford. Each time that we went to buy something, I would be like, oh, it's okay, I'm just gonna pay it off in the next 2 weeks. Like, my paycheck is coming, I can just make a big payment and it'll be good. But the problem was that those moments started happening more often, to where it slowly but surely ended up racking up to thousands of dollars. And when you look at it all together, it's like, how did I even get to this point? I failed to realize that it happened not out of nowhere. I was making these decisions myself, and I just was not being mindful of the fact that I only make so much a month. And I'm
Yeah. Like, dude, self-awareness right off the bat. Who is this beautiful lady? Who is this woman?
spending more than I can make in 1 month. So I don't know what was going on in my head, but that is what got me to where I'm at right now, just carelessly spending money that is not mine, knowing that I could not pay it back on time. So I'm finally taking action. I am tired of living paycheck to paycheck. I'm tired of always being worried about whether I'm gonna afford groceries for the week or not. And I am so tired of struggling to find a card that I have enough room to spend money on for groceries, because they're all just about maxed out. I created my own tracker to track my progress. And
Yeah, but she should just not be using credit cards. It's just like what, like a lot of these people, like if they have available money, it's gone. So one of the fears is if they make more money, they're just gonna spend more money. So like you have to plan your life where a bunch of money gets taken out of your check immediately, goes into some account that you can't see. If you have to have an accountant set this up for you, and then you have a debit card and you can only spend what's on that debit card. That's how a lot of these people need to live their lives, and that's fine, but you just got to accept it, move forward, and make sure you just don't get into credit card debt again. That's been this video. I was supposed to go out today, but the people I was supposed to go out with kind of dipped on me. So here I am. I was on TikTok all day. And of course, TikTok fed me all those sweet, sweet, beautiful videos that you see here. Don't get into credit card debt, guys. It's not worth it. If you find yourself into credit card debt, stop spending on those cards. You have to stop. So you cannot spend on those cards. You can't. Get a debit card. You can only spend on your debit card now. Make the payments to the credit cards. Ideally, if you can, take out a personal loan with a lower interest rate and pay off the remaining balance of the credit cards. Also, we're at 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, guys. If you like this video, like, subscribe, but it means a lot. It means a lot. It's kind of crazy how quick this channel has grown. And like I said, I will be doing more than just reacting to TikToks. This Saturday, I'm going to be doing a video on prison abolitionists because I think they're absolutely off their rocker. But follow me for another video this weekend. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye.